What's up, guys? This is Ray J back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's happening with SPY, Tesla, and the overall market. I'm going to break down what's going on with the Robotaxi, some big news involving Tesla that's helping the share price so far. Just know that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I'm saying as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out my Mumu link. If you sign up for Mumu, the link down below, and deposit $100, you're guaranteed 5 free stocks. If you deposit $2,000, you're guaranteed 25 in total. Deposit $5,000 and you're guaranteed 60 free stocks. The offer ends at the end of July. Anyways, now let's talk about what's happening to Tesla. So one thing worth mentioning is that from a technical standpoint, Tesla is very much just range bound. We love to bounce near that 310 area, but we also like to reject near 333. And as of right now, we're still technically in that range. Now, we got tighter and tighter over the last couple of days. And you'll notice that Tesla's trying to break upwards right here. So that's a good sign that it wants to push higher. If we could hold above 325, we're going to be looking for an attempt to get to 333 on Tesla. There could be a small push from here. Now, what else is ironic is that despite the negative news that came out about the U.S. getting involved in the Iranian war with Israel. We did dip yesterday only to get bought back up, and the market's back in the green. The question is, will we continue to bounce here? Does the market get some kind of rug pull? I'll give you guys more insights about that, but as of right now, the market is holding up. As long as Tesla could hold above some key levels, it's going to continue. So Elon Musk said, super congratulations to the Tesla AI software and chip design teams on a successful robotaxi launch. The accumulation is basically the accumulation of a decade of hard work. Both the AI chip and software teams will be built from scratch within Tesla. So that's big news. Once again, guys, there's even videos of Elon Musk riding in one of these. Very, very and it was a very, very big success, right? We saw a lot of people that were talking about their rides. For example, we have this person known as Zach. They did 11 Tesla Robotaxi rides all day around Austin with zero issues at all. It was smooth as butter. They're very grateful to the Tesla AI team for the invites. They did such an incredible job, and history has been made. The Robotaxi is here, and it's amazing. What a day. Can't wait for more. We had other people talking about it. We have many others out there that were just talking about how the ride was very smooth and comfortable. There's even like videos of them kind of like recording their ride, and you guys can see this is like a driverless Tesla. Very, very cool stuff. Tesla Economics is also talking about how the robotaxi is here, and they have another video of it just driving itself. Very, very awesome stuff. So this was a very, very big success for Tesla. They're now charging people $4.20, at least for now. That's the flat fee they're charging people per ride, which is not bad. It's actually very, very affordable compared to other services, and it's very awesome. Like, it's very exciting. With this is just the very beginning for Tesla, as we're going to be looking to see them eventually expand their cyber cabs, and they're going to be once again driven all over the US. For now, it's starting off in a small area of Austin, Texas, but then it's going to expand over time. So very awesome stuff. I also want to say congratulations to the Tesla team about this. It's very, very bullish. Now, when it comes to the overall markets, I wanted to just say that right now, the world is waiting to see what Iran is going to do. Are they going to respond after the U.S. has, striken 3 nuclear facilities? We're going to see what ends up happening, at least after all of this. We're going to see what happens to the price of oil and such. There are warnings that the cost of a barrel of oil could surpass $100 if we see retaliation from Iran, and they have said that they are considering that, but we haven't really gotten an update, and we haven't really seen them actually do it yet. So we're just going to wait and see. Don't forget that Israel and the U.S. felt very threatened by Iran's nuclear program. So with the U.S. getting involved, we're going to see what Iran ends up doing next. So keep that in mind. Typically, after wars, the market could be very, very nuanced. Sometimes 1 month later, the market's down. Sometimes it could actually be very flat. But then typically 6 months and 12 months later, the market's more bullish. So we're going to see what ends up happening as time goes on. On top of this, for today, at 9:45 a.m., we have the S&P Global Composite Manufacturing and Services PMI reports may also cause some volatility, so keep that in mind. We're going to see what ends up happening. President Trump said that the strikes that happened after the strikes, there will be either peace or there will be tragedy for Iran, far greater than what we just witnessed. So we're going to see what they end up doing. I think that's what the market's essentially waiting for. And then we're going to see how this ends up affecting oil prices and inflation. So keep all of that as time goes on, as oil is now going up. So as a result, Tesla's holding up well so far. We did initially say that the logical thing would be potential downside coming to the markets, but we're not seeing that quite yet. And for the time being, Tesla's holding up well. So we're going to be watching 325. Tesla could hold this. We're looking for an attempt to get back up to that 333 area. But if we're bearish, you want to see us fail at 325 to start dumping back down towards 318, then back down to 313. Those are going to be two main supports. Looking at the overall trend, we're going back and forth between supply and demand, but the share price is trying to hold up. So as long as we're above this, we are favoring an attempt to get to 333 or above, as we have a nice accumulation that's forming. I would like to see Tesla push higher, but we're going to be watching to see if that ends up being the case or not. So keep that in mind. We're going to see if we could hold above 325, and we're going to see if we could get a push from here or not. I would like to see Tesla hold up and outperform the markets to try to push for 333, but we're going to have to be very careful just to be safe in case we get news involving Iran. And if you see Tesla below 325, we're going to be looking for a move back down, all the way down to the 320 or below. So hopefully we hold above 325 to push higher. I'm optimistic. I hope Tesla could do that, and that could be a good sign for us. If not, we could turn down. On SPY, I said we have to lose 592.5 to be bearish. If we're above 595, we're looking for a bounce to 597.2, then eventually closer to 600. We're going back and forth in this range, so this could try to bounce higher as long as we could hold support right here. And if we lose 592.5, we're looking for a dump, so keep those levels in mind. As of right now, we're holding support. We're consolidating here. We're actually trying to hold above 595. If we could hold this might try to rebound a bit for 598. So we're going to see how well we hold up with all the war news. If we don't hold 592.5, we're bearish, but this might actually try to bounce a bit looking at the current trend right here. Same thing with the QQQ. If we end up losing 524, we're looking for a dump to like the low 520s. But if we get back above 528, we're looking for basically the 530s. I wouldn't be surprised if we tested the 530s. We're going to see what kind of reaction we get. We might see a small push, but the question is, can we sustain these levels, right? Is it just going to be a temporary move up before we start to see oil prices going up and the market gets a rejection again? We got 1, 2, 3 rejections. Are we going to push and then reject again? Be very, very mindful of that. On the IWM, we have a left shoulder, head and right shoulder. We need to hold above 210 to balance. If we touch that and reject, we could be turning back down to 206. ES is also trading sideways. We need to try to break and hold above 60.50 to be bullish. We're testing resistance at 60.34, so be very careful. If we break and hold above resistance around 60.80, we could be pushing a lot higher. But if we reject and end up losing basically 59.50, we could turn back down. Watch to see if 60.50 holds. If it doesn't, we could turn back down from here. So you want to be very careful to see. NQ is going to be testing 22,000. We got to get back above that. If we can't, if we hit 22,000 reject, we could turn back down. As of right now, we're very flat here, but we haven't broken resistance. So we still technically are making lower highs on NQ. So we're going to see if we kind of push and reject again. So you want to be very careful with that. Bitcoin dumped only to bounce a bit. So is Bitcoin going to push a little bit more to like 102,000 and reject? I'll be watching that very closely. On Nvidia, we came down. We're at support at 142. We got to hold this. Might see a small rebound before it continues to fall back down to 140. We need to get back above 145 to bounce. Otherwise, there's downside risk. Apple's pushing higher. We're going to be looking for an attempt for 202, then 204. If we lose 198, we're looking for a dump, but this is favoring upside for 202 to 204. So keep that in mind. AMD is bullish. We're going to be looking for 132.5. If we lose 126, we're looking for 122 as our supports, but it's looking a bit more bullish right now. For Coinbase, we're going to be watching to see if 300 holds. If it doesn't hold, there's going to be a risk of this returning back down to the 290s. So it's a little bit weak in the pre-market. We need to get back above 310 to be bullish, but if we lose 300, we're bearish. So be careful. There is downside risk. Amazon is barely holding support at 208. It might retest 212. We need to break and hold 212 to be bullish. If we push to 212 and reject, and if we lose 208, we're bearish. There's a double top here. We could push to 212. We're going to see if it rejects off that or not. Meta is forming a double top here. We're going to be watching to see if we can push for 690, and then we'll see if it rejects and turns back down. If we break 692, we're looking for a bigger push, but I think this might push here, then turn back down. So be very careful. For Google, if we end up breaking past the 170 area, we're looking for a rebound. If we can't hold above that, We may push and then reject, so be very careful. And Microsoft is trying to push for basically 480. We're going to see if it holds up or not. The VIX is starting to reject here. So if it ends up losing 19.5, we're looking for a bigger dump. It's still technically range bound, just like the market, so be very careful. Tesla's also technically in this range, but there is upside potential as long as they're above 325. So keep that in mind. We're going to see what happens once we get this data at 9:45 a.m. But other than that, Tesla's holding up very well and looking more bullish. Thank you for listening. Let's hope Tesla continues to push here. If we could hold above 325, I'm looking for 333 or above if that breaks. So watch your levels and be very, very patient. Thank you for listening and peace out.